This Diamond Report is brought to you by Baden. Baden baseballs are the official baseball of NSAA high school district and state championship play. If you haven't tried a Baden baseball yet, try it out. They're great quality. They're great baseball. We thank Baden for sponsoring this video.
It is opening week. Hopefully the weather permits some games to be played. We'll talk about that in a minute, but welcome to this week's Diamond Report. Here we go. Okay, for everybody, the 2023 NFHS rules changes are linked up again. If you haven't seen them yet, you're behind the eight ball. Get after it. Take a look at those changes. I also included in this week's Diamond Report a review of usage of radar guns and display during games, and also the use of video during games. Make sure you view that if you didn't see it last Diamond Report. For umpires, okay, if you have not put in your varsity umpire schedule for this year, please do that and put it into the NSAA, into your NSAA login as soon as possible. My 2023 observers are listed in this document: Jeff Graver, Matt Ossenfort, Jason Harstick, Tim Hahn. A big thanks to them. They want to come see a lot of you this spring, and it is easiest to get after it if you've got your schedule put into the NSAA system. So please do that soon. Also, a reminder for umps, if you want to work district or state, which I hope a lot of you do, those applications are due by the end of the day, Friday, April 7th, as we'll start signing games in district sites at that time. I've had the question asked, and so this is a reminder. With Class C now in the mix, Class C district sites and matchups won't be determined till the same day as Class B because they are also going to be serpentined. So just a heads up on that. Also, a reminder for umpires, before your games, a reminder to have a good pregame meeting as a crew, talk scouting report, talk weather conditions, weird things about the field, maybe some past experiences with a coach or a player. Make sure you have that good pregame meeting. And then at that pregame plate meeting, make sure you're asking your coaches, hey, is everybody legally and properly equipped? Make sure you go through, your checklist of items. Right now, today, and the next couple days is a good time to review what you want to cover in that pregame plate meeting. Also, umpires, it's good for ADs and coaches to hear this as well. Inevitably, we're going to have issues with bench and field conduct throughout the season. I'd advise umpires and coaches alike to review Rule 3.3 that outlines what that should look like. But specifically, umpires also review the penalty section of Rule 3.3 and what tools you have in your tool belt to handle sticky situations. I've included some screenshots of those in this document, and just to highlight a few of them, a reminder that unless an ejection is warranted immediately, you have some ways to go about things, umpires, to keep coaches or players in the game longer and to work through things, because we know things are going to get heated. We know there's going to be disagreements. So a reminder that you can verbally warn a coach. But after you verbally warn that coach, the next issue, you have the ability to then give a written warning and restrict that coach to the dugout. And then if things progress further, then the next step would be ejection. So again, if an ejection is not warranted immediately, you have some other tools that you can utilize to hopefully help calm the situation down, keep the coach or player in the game longer. Review these things here at the beginning of this season. Now for coaches and ADs, hey, the weather's still cold, a lot of precipitation in the forecast. Any postponements or cancellations, make sure you're communicating them to me as well. I'll update the NSA website immediately. Coaches, if you have any of those hit you with games, even at the lower levels, make sure you're updating max preps. Make sure you do that by editing the game and not deleting it and then putting it back in. That'll create problems. Also, schools should do everything possible to make up any lost games. Okay, and there's some flexibility that can happen there as well. So let's say you have a triangular that's postponed this weekend. You have the ability to make up those games singularly later on in the season. Because weather struck, you postponed it. Now you can make up maybe one game on one day, another game on another. This enables you some flexibility and the ability to get those games made up. Also review the section I have here at the bottom regarding suspended games or games that are postponed in a tournament, because we really watch that, where once a tournament has been put into pools or brackets, it's seeded and games have started, if you have weather issues arise, the tournament has to continue in that format for the games to be played. Okay, so you can't manipulate the bracket once it's begun. So again, review that, and as always, you know where to reach me if you've got questions. We'll work through it. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you soon.